No matter how hard you press your Persona 5 disc into your Switch dock, it doesn't seem like the game has any intention of working. But in just a few days' time, a game with a bunch of similarities to Persona is coming to Switch with Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE Encore. This originally came to Wii U over 3 years ago and was pitched as a collaboration between Fire Emblem and Shin Megami Tensei. And we've had 3 years to come to grips with it being neither of those things. Like, yeah, there's references to Jack Frost in the He-Ho Mart, and you do work with Fire Emblem characters, but everything's extremely self-contained. It's basically an original IP, which is a good thing. You don't need to know a thing about either of these franchises to enjoy this. If it pulls anything from the SMT side though, it's the similarities to Persona, though it won't take you like 100 hours to finish this. It's definitely less of a commitment. So if Joker and Smash, Persona 5 Scramble, or Persona Q2 just aren't enough for you, here's why you should play Tokyo Mirage Sessions in the meantime. That's assuming Persona 5 ever does come to Switch. Reason number 1, the premise is almost the exact same. Persona is about school kids unlocking the power to summon Persona, which lend them their power in battle. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is about Japanese idols unlocking the power of mirages, which lend them their power in battle. Yeah, that's pretty damn similar. Tokyo Mirage Sessions is basically a Persona Lite. Both games have you balancing a double life, where you're a normal person by day and a dungeon-crawling vigilante by night. Kinda like Hannah Montana. Where's the Hannah Montana game, Atlus? The reason it's Persona Lite though is you aren't abiding by a calendar in Tokyo Mirage Sessions. In fact, the idol life is very linear and is almost entirely dictated by the story. So while Persona has you building social links and micromanaging your balance between school life and combat skills, Tokyo Mirage Sessions slims things down a lot. You can still explore the world at your own leisure, but there really isn't that much to do. But if the story and dungeons are what you like about Persona, this may even be a good thing. The story is far more rapid, so you'll be going to dungeons far more frequently than you would in Persona. Heck, even traversal is basically the same, with areas being accessible with a near-identical travel menu. Number 2. Party relationships. So we just said how Tokyo Mirage Sessions doesn't have social links, but it does have side quests focusing entirely on specific characters in your party, and the reward for finishing them is extremely similar to a social link. Now you can't end up choosing which person's going to be your life partner, but they do unlock new skills and battles for that party member, and honestly, some of the most important character building story beats come from the side quests. This really is a fantastic cast of characters, and while how you approach them is a lot more linear than Persona, the general formula is still pretty much intact. Both games even have a texting system, and the one in TMS is a lot more prevalent. It really goes a lot further to express these characters with their own custom emojis and more exaggerated dialogue. I mean, look at Tsubasa here. Number 3. The dungeons. Tokyo Mirage Sessions on Wii U predated the English localization of Persona 5, and compared to Persona 4, which had kind of generic procedurally generated dungeons, Tokyo Mirage Sessions felt like a natural evolution. Each one is deliberately crafted with unique ideas that set them apart, whether you're climbing through a mannequin maze, avoiding cameras in a photo shoot, or making your way through a TV set themed around traditional Japan. There's a ton of variety here. I wouldn't say they're as deep as Persona 5's, but the puzzle focus at least brings it somewhat up to par. It's a clear step above previous Persona games, which are starting to feel somewhat dated in the dungeon department. And they of course culminate in intimidating boss battles, and just like in Persona, the battle involves someone from the real world. Only in Tokyo they've been taken over by an evil mirage, rather than the mirage being a version of themselves. Number 4. The Velvet Room. Kinda. Alright, this is a bit more jolly, but just like in Persona, you're able to customize your abilities. You're not creating entirely new mirages, but you can change their class, create entirely new weapons, and other general combat skills. Just imagine Tiki sounding like Igor, and it might start to click a little more.
Trickster, welcome to my Velvet Room.
But yeah, that layer of combat customization and experimentation is still very much in Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but again, it's lighter. There aren't hundreds upon hundreds of personas to join you, and you can't then combine them for new personas, but there's still a decent amount to work with. And number 5, the combat. Both games are pretty traditional turn-based RPGs, but there's a lot in that simplicity that makes them both great. For starters, general battles don't outstay their welcome. You're unlikely to spend more than a minute on each fight, but boss battles are where things really step up. So in terms of combat pacing, the two are cut from the same cloth, but even the gimmicks are somewhat similar, and I may even prefer Tokyo Mirage Sessions' systems overall. In Persona 5, exploiting an enemy's elemental weakness knocks them down, and doing this to an entire party of enemies can trigger an all-out attack. Tokyo Mirage Sessions, on the other hand, gets there a lot sooner, where any elemental attack results in a session combo. Characters can only join the session if they learn the skill, but in the late game, these things can be devastating. And thankfully in the Switch version, you can skip the animations, so you don't have to watch these over and over and over again like you did on Wii U. Tokyo Mirage Sessions also expands elemental properties to the Fire Emblem weapon triangle, so even swords, lances, and axes are taken into account. It's a pretty deep but simple system all around, building off Persona's foundation while maintaining the simplicity. So Tokyo Mirage Sessions may not be a carbon copy of Persona, but if you're someone who really wants a Persona game on Switch, this comes extremely close. It doesn't quite have the same depth and it won't last you 100 hours, but the two have a lot in common, and in some areas, Tokyo Mirage Sessions even comes up on top. So what do you guys think about these similarities, and if you've not played the game before, are you considering it? Let us know your thoughts down below, and of course be sure to subscribe to GameXplain and also ring that bell for a lot more on Tokyo Mirage Sessions and other things gaming too. Until next time, bye!